Have you ever felt trapped in a situation where your safety was at risk, but you don't know how to escape? Hello, my name is Adobe, and I want to share something that has been weighing heavily on my heart. I'm not sure what to do, and I really need advice. Please, listen to my story and let me know what you think. If you find this story helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe to hear more. Let me take you back to where it all started. I just gave birth to my first child last month, a beautiful baby boy. My heart was so filled with so much joy, and I felt like my life was finally coming together. As is our tradition, my mother came to stay with me for Omugo, to help take care of me and the baby. At first, everything was fine. My mother helped me a lot with the baby, showing me how to bathe him and make sure I ate well. But then, something happened last week that changed everything. It all started one evening. My husband, Chike, came back home from work, and as usual, he lit a cigarette right in the living room. The smoke filled the air, making the whole place smell terrible. My mother was sitting on the sofa, holding the baby, and I could see her frowning, but she didn't say anything. I gathered the courage to speak up, even though I was scared. Chike, please, can you smoke outside? The smoke is not good for the baby, I said softly. Chike looked at me with cold eyes, then continued puffing on his cigarette without saying a word. I could feel the tension in the room, thick and heavy like the smoke that lingered around us. The next day, I noticed my mother coughing. I didn't want to bring it up again with Chike, but I had no choice. That night, when he came home, I tried to talk to him again. Chike, please, my mother is coughing because of the smoke. It's not good for her health, I pleaded. Without warning, he slapped me hard across the face. The sound of the slap echoed through the room, and my cheek burned from the impact. I stumbled backward with tears in my eyes. My mother stood up immediately, her face pale with shock. Chike, why did you hit my daughter? What is wrong with you? She asked, her voice trembling. Instead of answering, Chike turned towards my mother, his eyes filled with anger. Before I could even react, he rushed at her, pushed her so hard that she fell to the ground. I screamed as she hit her head on the table, a small cut appearing just above her eyebrow. Mama! I cried, rushing to her side. She moaned in pain as I helped her up, her hand shaking as she touched the cut on her forehead. Chike just stood there, breathing heavily, his fist clenched as if he was ready to strike again. I was too scared to say anything, too scared to even look him in the eyes. The next morning, my mother quietly packed her bags. She didn't say much, but I could see the sadness in her eyes. Ada, I'm going back home, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I wanted to beg her to stay, to not leave me alone, but I knew she was hurt, not just physically, but deep inside. She left our house, and I felt a cold emptiness settle in the pit of my stomach. Later that day, I found out that she had gone to report the matter to my mother-in-law. When my mother-in-law came to our house yesterday, I was nervous. She sat Chike down and spoke to him sternly, asking him why he had acted so violently. Chike didn't say much, just nodded his head and promised to behave better. But as soon as she left, the door hadn't even fully closed. Chike grabbed me by the arm, his grip tight and painful. So you are using me to gossip now, eh? You think you can turn everyone against me? He hissed, his voice low and threatening. He pushed me against the wall, his face inches from mine. I will kill you, Ada. I swear, I'll finish you off and nobody will say anything. He backed, his breath hot and smelling of tobacco. My heart pounded in my chest and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I had never seen him this angry before. I knew I had to leave, but I didn't know where to go. Early this morning, before he woke up, I packed a small bag, wrapped my baby in a blanket, and quietly left the house. I walked to my sister's place, my legs trembling with fear and exhaustion. When I arrived, I broke down in tears, telling her everything that had happened. She hugged me tightly, her voice filled with worry. "You can stay here, Ada. Don't go back to him," she said, but deep down, I felt so confused. That evening, Chike sent someone to warn me that if I didn't come back by tomorrow morning, I should never set foot in his house again. Now, I'm sitting here, holding my baby, wondering what to do. This is my first child, and my marriage isn't even 3 months old. My mother has been crying since she left, saying that our family is cursed, that we are bringing disgrace to her. 3 of my older sisters have already returned to our father's house because of their marriages, and she fears that if I go back, I'll make it 4. I don't want to bring shame to my family, but I'm scared for my life. I really don't know what to do. Should I go back to Chike and try to make things work? Or should I stay away for the sake of my safety and my babies? Please, I need advice. I'm so lost right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you have any advice for me, I would love to hear it. What happens when the person you trust the most becomes the source of your greatest pain? Kemi's story might shock you. My name is Kemi, and I'm about to share something that happened last Sunday. It's been bugging me for a while, and I really need to get it off my chest. So, before we dive in, make sure to like this post and drop your advice in the comments if you have been through something like this. I am a mother of 2. There is my 4-year-old Bolu and my 13-month-old baby girl Tenny. And before you ask me, no, I'm not married. I live with their father Tayo, but well, let's just say things are complicated. So I run a provision and foodstuff shop right in front of our house. It's small, but enough to keep us going. Meanwhile, Tayo works at some company where he mostly just watches CCTV all day. Trust me, his job isn't even half as stressful as mine. I used to work there, so I know. But here is the thing. He doesn't lift a finger to help with the kids or the house. Not even when I'm drowning in work. If I'm cooking or busy and a customer comes by, instead of him helping me, he tells them to go away, saying I am not around. Can you imagine? Anyway, back to last Sunday. I had opened the shop early that morning, made a few sales, and then went inside to make breakfast. I fixed custard for Tenny, tea for Bolu, and I was trying to quickly make jollof rice for Tayo and me. By this time, the kids were already crying and pulling at me in the kitchen. They were hungry and fussy. Tenny was clinging to my leg and Bolu was begging for my attention. And where was Tayo? Sitting in the living room, rubbing our cat, Baba Ibeji, and watching TV like the world wasn't crumbling around me. I could feel my blood boiling, but I tried to keep calm. The rice was on fire, and I just wanted to finish up before feeding the kids. Suddenly, I heard a knock at the gate. A customer. Tayo knew I was busy. He could hear the kids crying, but what did he do? He came to call me. Kemi, customer dey outside, he said, still sitting on the couch with the cat. I sighed. Okay, I'll be right there, I told him, even though I was already balancing a crying Tenny on one hip while stirring the pot. It took me less than a minute to go outside, but by the time I reached the gate, the customer had already left. I was furious, but I held it in and went back to the kitchen, where Bolu was still tugging at my clothes and Tenny was sobbing louder than ever. Tayo, of course, was still sitting on his throne, stroking the cat like some kind of village king. The anger in me was bubbling up, but I stayed silent. I wasn't ready for a fight. I just wanted to get through the morning without snapping. But Tayo wasn't done. He came back to the kitchen and shouted at me, "Didn't I tell you a customer is waiting for you?" I turned to him, fire in my eyes. "Did you not see me go outside? The customer wasn't there anymore. What would happen if you helped me sell something for once, Tayo?" And that's when it all went downhill. He started shouting, calling me lazy and saying all kinds of hurtful things. While he was still ranting, another customer came to the gate, but instead of just ignoring them or helping me, he shouted at them, "Go buy from somewhere else." I lost it. My head snapped in his direction and I said, "Tayo, just shut up. Stop being so wicked and heartless." Before I could even blink, he stormed into the kitchen and slapped me. It was so hard, my vision blurred for a second, and then came another slap, harder than the first. Before I knew what was happening, he hit the pot and the hot oil I had on fire spilled all over Tenny's leg. Tenny's scream pierced through my heart like a knife. I rushed to her, my hands shaking, but Tayo was still hitting me. I was begging him, "Tayo, please let me carry her, she's in pain." But he didn't stop. Instead, he grabbed my neck and pressed me against the wall, choking me. I couldn't breathe. My eyes were wide with fear. All I could think about was Tenny's scream filling the room and Bolu crying in the corner. I used the last bit of strength I had to push him off me. But even then, he didn't stop. He went to Tenny, grabbed her with one hand like he was a sack of rice, ready to throw her out. I screamed, "Do you want to kill her?" I grabbed her by the legs, trying to pull her back. It felt like a war between us, a tug of war with our baby in the middle. Finally, he let go and I rushed outside looking for help. I ran from house to house, but it was Sunday morning. No one was around. Even the chemists were closed. I went back to the house defeated, angry and scared. Tenny was crying in pain, her legs starting to swell. I wanted to scream, but instead tears poured down my face. I looked at Tayo, who had the nerves to sit down with the cat like nothing was happening. The anger in me reached its boiling point. I couldn't think straight. Without even realizing what I was doing, I ripped off my clothes, knelt down and cursed him. "You will suffer for what you did to my child. Even if you didn't want them, must you kill them for me?" He looked shocked for the first time, not because of what he had done, but because of what I had done. He rushed his phone and called his mother, telling her I had placed a curse on him naked. His mother nearly fainted on the spot, screaming over the phone. She didn't even care about what happened to Tenny. All she wanted to talk about was how I had disrespected and cursed her son. People of God, what do I do? His mother never liked me, and his terrible character is the reason we aren't married. We went to meet my people for marriage, but I told them I didn't want to marry him. Now, they think what I did was worse than what he did to me and our child. My uncle and elder brother told me I could come home, but not with the kids. How can I leave my children behind? We haven't had a family meeting yet, but I know one is coming. What should I say when his family, especially his mother, tries to blame me for everything? I know they will see me as the bad one because of what I did, but can you blame me? I need advice before this family meeting happens, because I know things will only get worse from here.